What's good, y'all? It's your boy JU. Another beautiful day. I wanted to make a video reacted to last night, man. Last night, as we know, was the Super Bowl. As far as the Super Bowl in general, it was the first football game I sat down and actually watched the whole thing, probably over a year now. And it was quite disappointing to just sit there and watch a blowout. But I more so wanted to talk about the halftime show, man. The halftime show, we had Kendrick, Lamar, we had SZA, and I guess we'll start with the quality, right? The quality of the show. I do think his mic was messed up, and that kind of affected the quality somewhat. But I also think that Kendrick, he's a great performer. He's a great performer. I've seen clips of his shows that he does all the extra theatrics. He does outfit changes. He puts a lot of work into his shows. More than just the average rapper that just kind of walks back and forth on stage, right? And so I do think as far as like a rapper, a lyricist, that's probably the best we're going to get out of that. Like, when we talk about rappers that do R&B, like people like Drake or like Future, I think they could somewhat give a comparable or maybe even a better show. But that hasn't been seen yet. We did see like Dr. Dre a few years ago, but he had multiple people, right? He had Eminem, he had 50 Cent and Kendrick, so that's a different level of show, right? As far as like a solo headliner, I think he did a pretty good job besides his mic not being there. I do think he sacrificed the kind of the greatness that his show could have been, because he performed a lot of GNX songs, right? A lot of songs on his latest work that aren't necessarily, like a few of them are mainstream, but a lot of them aren't really mainstream like that. When we think about the Super Bowl audience and it being more than just the black community and black culture, I do think he sacrificed some of that by performing the songs he did, because he could have went back, he could have did swimming pools, could have did stuff like Loyalty with Rihanna. He could have did a lot of songs, man. He could have did a lot of songs that he chose not to do because he has an agenda, right? He has an agenda, which, most people, when we're doing things in this world, we all have an agenda, right? So I do think he sacrificed the quality of his show for his agenda, which is to, promote the West Coast, kind of affect the sound of hip hop and, move things in the direction he wants it to go into, right? And also step on Drake's neck one more time, one last time. Even though he's going on tour, he's going to be performing Not Like Us on tour at every stop. But he's definitely had his own agenda with it. Now, you see a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of like the woke crowd, the Black Power crowd. You see them saying like, oh, there's these hidden messages in the show, and he's trying to, it's a revolution and all this stuff, which to me, that's all BS, man. That's all BS. Like, yeah, he's putting little cultural innuendos and stuff like that in the show, but we see the guy that had the Gaza flag in the Sudan thing, that you see they got chased off the stage, so it can't be that woke, right? It can't be that woke. I think a lot of those people are still the type of people that look towards entertainers, rappers, and actors and stuff like that to be their leaders, which they're not your leaders. Rappers and actors should not be the people that we look towards to revolutionize anything, because at the end of the day, they trying to get paid. They trying to get paid, and they got their own agendas to push. Because in my opinion, it's like, when he says they not like us, he's not just talking about the government. He's not just talking about the establishment. He's talking about, obviously, people from, people that may still identify as black, but they're just not from the West Coast or not from the quote-unquote culture, right? I don't know. He just seemed like a guy that would have voted for Kamala Harris, but that's a whole different situation, right? That's a whole nother situation. But back to the show, you know, where does it rank with the greats? Of course, not as high as Beyonce and Michael Jackson, Rihanna, and all of those ones. I'm just trying to think of recent ones that I actually remember. Of course, not as high as those, but it's going to be a memorable show. You know, he has Serena Williams crip walking in there. It's going to be something that you got to go back to kind of catch everything, because he is meticulous like that. He is going to put, you know, little hints and subtle things. I think him bringing out DJ Mustard was great. I think that was great. You know, big moment for Mustard because he deserves it. He's a phenomenal producer, and not just for the West Coast. You know, he makes hits that gets played everywhere. And that's the only thing about a lot of those GNX West Coast music songs. It's like Squabble Up, TV Off, and Not Like Us are going to get played on the radio. Luther is going to get played on the radio because Luther is not really a West Coast song. I mean, it's West Coast by nature, but it's not really like the sonically it's not. So it's like all the ones that's not West Coast sonically, like, yeah, those will get played all around the country. But when it comes to Squabble Up and TV Off, those are just so big that they're gonna get played also. But everything else on there, like, you're not gonna go to a club here on the East Coast and hear them playing Peekaboo and whatever other songs are out there. But, you know, and don't get me wrong, I thought it was a great album. I love like the stuff like Reincarnated, Man in the Garden. I love that stuff. But let me know what you guys think about the show down in the comments. Did you think it was great? Did you think it was trash? I see a lot of mixed reviews. I see some people saying it was good, but it was good because of the little hints and subtle things he put in it. And then some people just saying, nah, fuck that shit. That shit was garbage, trash. They don't know why they picked him. I seen somebody say Jay-Z got the best Super Bowl performer in his living room and made us sit through that. So it's a lot of mixed reviews on it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Always love y'all.